Let's get something straight. Being a chosen woman means you're different. You don't fit in. You don't blend into the background. You don't follow the crowd. And guess what? That's exactly why you walk alone. A chosen woman doesn't walk alone because she wants to. She walks alone because she has to. She is different. And that difference is what sets her apart from the rest. It's not that she doesn't want companionship, support, or understanding. It's that the world around her often fails to provide it. A chosen woman sees life through a different lens. She has a vision that others don't understand, a drive that others find intimidating, and a presence that makes people uncomfortable. This is the reality of being chosen. It isolates you, but only because you are meant for something greater. From a young age, a chosen woman realizes that she doesn't fit in the way others do. Maybe she's always had bigger dreams than the people around her. Maybe she's asked deeper questions, refused to accept things at face value, or pursued growth when others were content with mediocrity. While other people are comfortable in their routines, she is constantly searching for more. She feels the weight of her purpose even when she doesn't fully understand it. And that weight makes her walk a different path, one that others may never dare to take. The truth is, most people settle. They settle for jobs they don't love, relationships that drain them, and a life that feels safe but uninspiring. They choose comfort over challenge, acceptance over authenticity, and familiarity over growth. But a chosen woman, she can't settle, not because she doesn't want security, but because something deep inside her refuses to let her shrink. Even when she tries to be like everyone else, something feels off. It's like wearing a mask that doesn't fit. She knows deep down that she is meant for more. This realization comes with a cost. She may lose friendships because she no longer relates to small talk and gossip. She may feel disconnected from family members who don't understand her ambition or who think she is too much for wanting more out of life. She may struggle with relationships because the average person doesn't know how to handle a woman with such strength and independence. People misinterpret her confidence as arrogance, her focus as selfishness, and her unwillingness to settle as being picky or difficult. But here's what most people don't see: the loneliness that comes with being different. A chosen woman often stands at a crossroads. Should she conform to fit in, or should she embrace the solitude that comes with her path? It's not an easy choice. There are nights when she questions everything, when she wonders if something is wrong with her, when she feels the ache of walking alone. But despite the doubts, she knows that betraying herself to gain acceptance would be far worse than facing loneliness. And this is what truly sets her apart. A chosen woman doesn't just walk alone. She chooses to walk alone rather than compromise who she is. She refuses to shrink to make others comfortable. She refuses to stay silent when her voice matters. She refuses to live a life dictated by fear, judgment, or societal expectations. She knows that walking alone is not a curse. It is the price of greatness. Her path is not easy, but it is necessary, because she is not here to blend in. She is here to break barriers, to inspire, to lead, and to show others what is possible when you refuse to settle. The world needs chosen women, women who are bold enough to walk their own path, even when it means walking alone. Loneliness can feel like a heavy burden, but for a chosen woman, it is something entirely different. It is preparation. When a woman is destined for greatness, she is often set apart from the rest, not because she is unworthy of connection, but because she is being prepared for something bigger than she can currently see. It is easy to mistake this isolation for rejection or punishment, but in reality, it is a refining process. When a woman is chosen, she is removed from the distractions, the noise, and the influences that could weaken her spirit or pull her away from her purpose. She is placed in a season of solitude so she can develop the strength, wisdom, and resilience needed to carry the weight of her calling. Most people fear loneliness because they associate it with emptiness. They believe that being alone means they are forgotten or unimportant. But a chosen woman must understand that her solitude is not a sign of lack. It is a season of growth. The people who once surrounded her may have walked away not because she did something wrong, but because they were never meant to walk her entire journey with her. The friendships that faded, the relationships that ended, the doors that closed, none of it was a mistake. It was all part of the process, a necessary separation so she could step into the next version of herself. Growth is never easy, and transformation requires space. A caterpillar does not become a butterfly while remaining out in the open, surrounded by distractions. It goes into isolation, into the cocoon, where it undergoes a process that is painful, lonely, and completely unseen. And yet, without that period of solitude, it would never develop the strength to fly. The same principle applies to a chosen woman. She is not alone because she is abandoned. She is alone because she is in a season of deep internal transformation. She is becoming stronger, wiser, and more aligned with her true purpose. During this time, she may feel misunderstood. She may look around and see others easily forming connections, easily finding their place in the world while she struggles to find where she belongs. She may feel frustrated, wondering why she seems to be on a different timeline than everyone else. But what she must realize is that chosen women do not follow the same path as the majority. Their journey is different, their lessons are different, and their growth requires a level of solitude that most people will never experience. It is in this solitude that she will discover her true strength. Without the constant noise of the world, she will finally hear her own voice. Without the need for external validation, she will learn to trust herself. Without the pressure to conform, she will embrace her uniqueness. And most importantly, without the distractions of unnecessary relationships, she will have the space to focus on her goals, her dreams, and the impact she is meant to make. This season of loneliness is not meant to break her. It is meant to build her. It is shaping her into the kind of woman who does not rely on the approval of others to feel worthy. It is teaching her that she is enough just as she is. It is strengthening her resolve so that when she steps into her purpose, she will be unshakable. She will no longer seek validation from people who do not understand her. She will no longer waste her time trying to fit into spaces that were never meant for her. She will walk with confidence, knowing that every moment of isolation was necessary to prepare her for the life she is meant to live. At some point, she will look back on this season and realize that it was never punishment, it was protection. She was being shielded from distractions, from relationships that would have held her back, from environments that would have drained her energy. She was being given the opportunity to grow into the woman she was always meant to be. What once felt like loneliness will be seen as one of the greatest gifts she ever received. And when she emerges from this season, she will not just be strong, she will be unstoppable. Silence is often misunderstood. Most people fear it, avoid it, and try to fill it with distractions. But for a chosen woman, silence is not something to escape. It is something to embrace. It is in silence that she finds clarity, strength, and an unshakable understanding of who she truly is. The world is constantly demanding attention, pulling people in different directions, and drowning out their inner voice. But when a woman is chosen, she is called to something higher. She cannot afford to be consumed by the noise. She must step back, embrace the silence, and allow it to shape her. In a world that thrives on constant connection, being alone with one's thoughts can feel uncomfortable. Most people surround themselves with endless distractions, social media, television, unnecessary conversations, because they don't want to face themselves. They don't want to confront their own doubts, fears, or deep desires. But a chosen woman is different. She does not run from herself. She does not fear the quiet. Instead, she uses it as a tool to understand herself on a deeper level. Silence strips away the external influences that try to shape who she should be. It removes the expectations of others, the pressure to conform, and the endless opinions that cloud her judgment. When the noise disappears, she is left with one thing: her own voice. And that voice is powerful. It tells her what she truly wants, what she needs to let go of, and what she is meant to do. But she can only hear it if she is willing to sit in the silence long enough to listen. Many people never discover their true purpose because they never take the time to be alone. They rely on others to tell them who they are. They follow trends, chase external validation, and lose themselves in the process. A chosen woman cannot afford to make that mistake. Her path requires her to know herself better than anyone else does. She must be clear on what she stands for, what she believes in, and where she is going. And that clarity only comes in the moments of stillness. Silence also reveals strength. When a woman can sit with herself without distraction and not feel the need to seek approval or validation, she becomes unbreakable. She learns to trust herself in ways that others never do. She stops looking to the world for answers and starts relying on her own intuition. She realizes that everything she needs, wisdom, confidence, direction, is already within her. It has always been there. The problem was never that she lacked these things. It was that the noise around her drowned them out. There is power in stepping back and creating space. In a world that constantly pushes people to stay busy, a chosen woman understands the value of stillness. She knows that her best ideas, her biggest breakthroughs, and her greatest moments of growth come when she allows herself to pause. She does not rush her process. She does not force things to happen before their time. Instead, she listens, reflects, and moves forward with intention. This does not mean silence is always easy. There will be moments when it feels isolating, when it brings up emotions she would rather avoid, when it forces her to face parts of herself that need healing. But this is where real transformation happens. A chosen woman does not shy away from the hard work of self-discovery. She understands that before she can lead, she must first know herself. Before she can impact others, she must first be deeply connected to her own truth. And before she can fully step into her purpose, she must first learn to trust the guidance that comes from within. The world may not understand her need for silence. It may try to pull her back into the noise, convince her that she is missing out, or make her feel as though she is falling behind. But a chosen woman knows better. She understands that her journey is not about keeping up with the world. It is about aligning with her purpose. And that alignment requires moments of quiet, moments of reflection, and moments where she steps away from the distractions to reconnect with who she truly is. When she embraces the silence, she gains something most people never do: an unshakable sense of self, a clear direction, and the confidence to walk her path with certainty. A chosen woman does not owe anyone an explanation for who she is, what she believes, or where she is headed. She does not need to justify her dreams, her standards, or her decisions to people who were never meant to understand them in the first place. The moment she realizes this is the moment she reclaims her power. Too many people waste their energy trying to explain themselves to those who are committed to misunderstanding them. They believe that if they can just say the right thing, present the right argument, or prove their worth, then the world will finally accept them. But a chosen woman knows better. She understands that no amount of explaining will make someone see what they refuse to see. Not everyone is meant to understand her journey. Some people are only capable of seeing the world through the limits of their own experiences. If they have never dreamed big, they will never understand her ambition. If they have never challenged the status quo, they will never understand her courage. If they have never stepped outside of their comfort zone, they will never understand why she refuses to settle. Their inability to understand is not a reflection of her, it is a reflection of them. She does not need to carry the weight of their limited perspective. People will question her. They will ask why she is still single when others have settled into relationships. They will ask why she left a secure job to pursue a vision that only she can see. They will tell her she is too much, too ambitious, too independent, too different. And for a moment, she may feel the urge to explain herself, to defend her choices, to seek validation. But then she will remember that she does not need permission to be who she is. She does not need to convince anyone of her worth. She does not need to make sense to people who are not meant to walk her path. There is freedom in letting go of the need to explain. When a chosen woman stops explaining herself, she takes back the energy that was being wasted on people who will never understand her. She stops waiting for approval and starts moving with confidence. She stops second-guessing herself and starts trusting her own intuition. She stops looking for outside validation and realizes that she is enough exactly as she is. This is not arrogance. It is self-respect. It is recognizing that she was not created to live according to other people's expectations. It is understanding that her time, her dreams, and her energy are too valuable to waste on convincing people who are not meant to be part of her journey. The right people, the ones who truly support her, believe in her, and uplift her, will never require an explanation. They will see her for who she is without her having to prove anything. They will respect her decisions even if they do not fully understand them, and they will stand beside her not because she convinced them to, but because they recognize her strength and her vision. A chosen woman walks with certainty, knowing that she does not need to be understood to be worthy. She does not need to fit into society's mold to be valuable. She does not need to explain why she chooses growth over comfort, purpose over approval, or authenticity over acceptance. She simply lives her truth unapologetically and allows the right people to find her. The more she stands firm in who she is, the more she attracts those who align with her journey and repels those who were never meant to be part of it. She does not waste her time trying to prove herself. She does not shrink to make others comfortable. She does not pause her journey to wait for people to catch up. She keeps moving, knowing that those who are meant to walk with her will find their way. And those who don't, they were never meant to be part of the story she is writing. A chosen woman understands that focus is her greatest weapon. In a world full of distractions, she refuses to let anything pull her away from her purpose. She knows that every great achievement requires discipline, commitment, and an unshakable belief in what she is doing. She does not entertain negativity, drama, or self-doubt because she knows that her energy is too valuable to be wasted on anything that does not serve her growth. She moves with intention, making decisions that align with her goals rather than following the crowd or seeking approval. There will always be moments when loneliness creeps in, when she questions whether the path she has chosen is worth it. The weight of walking alone can sometimes feel unbearable, and she may wonder if she is missing out by not following the path that others take. But deep down, she knows that she was never meant for an average life. She was meant for something greater, and that kind of purpose requires sacrifice. It requires saying no to temporary pleasures in order to build something lasting. It requires choosing solitude over meaningless connections. It requires trusting that even though the journey is difficult, it will be worth it in the end. A chosen woman does not allow fear to dictate her choices. She does not let the fear of failure stop her from trying, and she does not let the fear of judgment keep her from pursuing what she knows is right. She understands that fear is just an illusion, a test to see if she is truly committed to her path. Instead of running from it, she faces it head on. She pushes past self-doubt, past uncertainty, past the voices that tell her she is not enough. She refuses to be controlled by anything that would keep her from becoming the person she is meant to be. She also understands the power of consistency. She does not just work toward her goals when she feels motivated. She does it every single day, whether she feels like it or not. She knows that motivation fades, but discipline is what keeps her moving forward. She builds habits that support her success, and she sticks to them even when no one is watching. She does not wait for the perfect moment to start. She creates momentum by taking action, no matter how small. People around her may not always understand her dedication. They may call her obsessed, too serious, or too focused on her work. But she does not let their opinions distract her. She knows that most people settle for a life of comfort, never pushing themselves beyond what is easy or familiar. She refuses to be one of them. She refuses to let the fear of being different keep her from pursuing her dreams. Her focus is what separates her from the rest. While others get caught up in distractions, she keeps her eyes on the prize. While others waste time seeking validation, she builds something meaningful. While others complain about their circumstances, she takes action to change them. She understands that success is not about luck. It is about relentless dedication to a vision that only she can see. She does not let setbacks define her. When things do not go as planned, she does not quit. She adapts, learns, and keeps moving forward. She knows that every failure is just a lesson in disguise, a stepping stone on the path to something greater. She does not dwell on the past or worry about the future. She focuses on what she can do right now to get closer to her goals. Every day, she reminds herself why she started. She stays connected to her purpose, refusing to let temporary discomfort pull her away from what truly matters. She does not let loneliness, fear, or doubt distract her. She keeps showing up, keeps pushing forward, and keeps believing in herself, knowing that her focus will take her exactly where she is meant to go. A chosen woman does not seek validation from the world because she understands that true confidence comes from within. She does not need others to approve of her choices, her dreams, or her way of living, because she knows that the only person who truly needs to believe in her is herself. She has spent too much time questioning whether she is enough, whether she is on the right path, and whether she is worthy of success. But at some point, she realizes that the search for external validation is a never-ending cycle. No matter how much approval she gains, it will never be enough if she does not first believe in herself. She has learned that the opinions of others are unreliable. One day, people praise her for her strength, and the next they criticize her for being too independent. One day they admire her ambition, and the next they say she is too much. If she were to base her worth on what others think, she would constantly be chasing a moving target. Instead, she chooses to root her confidence in something deeper, her own self-belief, her own experiences, and the lessons she has learned along the way. This confidence did not come easily. She had to earn it through struggle, through heartbreak, through the moments when she felt completely alone. She had to build herself up when no one else was there to do it for her. She had to find her own voice when the world tried to silence her. She had to learn to clap for herself when no one else was cheering. And through it all, she realized that she does not need outside approval to know that she is worthy. The moment she stops seeking validation is the moment she steps into her true power. She no longer waits for permission to take up space. She no longer shrinks herself to make others comfortable. She no longer dims her light so that others won't feel insecure. She embraces who she is, fully, unapologetically, and without hesitation. She understands that confidence is not about being perfect. It is about owning who she is, flaws and all. She no longer explains herself to people who were never meant to understand her. She does not waste time convincing others of her worth because she knows that the right people will see it without explanation. She is done trying to fit into spaces that were never meant for her. She has outgrown the need for approval, and in doing so, she has found a new level of freedom. This kind of confidence makes her unstoppable. It allows her to take risks, to pursue her dreams without fear of judgment, and to stand strong in her beliefs even when others disagree. She does not let criticism shake her because she knows that other people's opinions are a reflection of them, not her. She does not let rejection discourage her because she understands that what is meant for her will never require her to beg for it. She trusts herself. She trusts her instincts, her decisions, and her ability to handle whatever comes her way. She does not second-guess herself based on other people's doubts. She knows that self-belief is a skill that must be strengthened daily. Every time she chooses to trust herself instead of seeking validation, she reinforces her inner strength. Every time she stands firm in her choices, she builds unshakable confidence. Every time she walks away from people or situations that do not align with her worth, she reaffirms that she is enough. She understands that confidence is not about arrogance. It is about self-respect. It is about knowing her value and refusing to settle for anything less than what she deserves. It is about understanding that she does not need to be liked by everyone because she was never meant to be for everyone. The right opportunities, the right relationships, and the right success will find her when she fully embraces who she is. A chosen woman moves differently when she realizes that validation is not something she has to chase. She does not wait for the world to recognize her greatness. She recognizes it in herself first. And because of that, nothing and no one can take it away from her.